Hey everyone, Camille here from 88 Fitness Training. Today I'm going to share the secret formula for building those big arms. Yes! So if you've ever wondered what is it about the people that have those huge biceps, those huge arms, I'm going to share a training secret with y'all and you're absolutely going to love it. So make sure you definitely stay tuned and check it out. But also, make sure you tune in to our live every Sunday at 12 Eastern Time. It's your opportunity to interact with myself as well as James and ask any questions that you may have. When y'all think of big arms, what do you think of? Hopefully the first thing that came to mind was the bicep brachii. Yes, that's that long and short head of the biceps. The other thing that probably came to mind was the triceps. Yes, those puppies count for 2/3 of the size of your arms. So when you think of big arms, you're like bicep brachii, triceps. I bet you didn't automatically think of the brachialis. You're probably like, what's a brachialis? Well, I'm here to tell you that is your secret weapon when training arms. Absolutely. The brachialis sits beneath the bicep brachii and it's responsible for a lot of the width of your biceps. In fact, it gives the illusion of bigger arms because the bigger it is, the more it's able to push the biceps up and out, giving you that real thick width to the biceps. And the brachialis is responsible for elbow flexion. So as you curl your arm, it's responsible for bringing this forearm up closer to your upper body. It's also responsible for helping to stabilize this elbow joint, which is really important for everyday functions. So let's jump into some exercises because again, this is a really neglected muscle group when it comes to building arm size. So I'm going to take you through several different exercises today that will help increase the size of that brachialis, which is going to give you that width. The first exercise I'm going to show you is actually a compound exercise. James and I really like front loading the compounds. When you're not fatigued, you're the freshest. That way you can get them done and recruit as many muscles as possible. Now the first things first, I'm going to do a pull-up. You're probably like, pull-up versus chin-ups? I'm training arms. Like I want to do those chin-ups because it's a lot of bicep. But that's the thing, it's a lot of biceps. And we're not targeting the bicep brachii, we're targeting the brachialis, which lies underneath. So when you're in that pull-up pronated grip form and you're at dead hang, it's the brachialis that's initiating that motion up, vertically. So let's go ahead and check this out. So you want a pretty wide grip here. Come up, squeeze, allow yourself to stretch at the bottom, flex those elbows, come up, squeeze, just like this. Again, this is a really great exercise for the brachialis because you can progressively overload it. I mean, if these get too easy, you can always hang weight from your waist or grab a dumbbell or something with your feet and you're able to really get that deep stretch and load on that brachialis. So the number one exercise I would start with is a compound, the pull-up. All right, next we're gonna go into some hammer curls. Pretty much any variation of the hammer curl is going to be excellent for that brachialis, opposed to traditional curls where you're straight up and straight down. This is mostly bicep brachii. But when you have those palms facing each other like this, you're really able to target the brachialis a little more than the bicep brachii. Now don't get me wrong, those biceps are still working in there, but the brachialis is able to get some of that load too. And what's great about the rope curls in particular, it's a real smooth range of motion compared to the dumbbells. Dumbbells can get pretty cumbersome depending on how heavy you're going. And then plus, you can mess with the angles. I can take a step further back, like so. I can get closer, so I'm straight up and straight down. You can play with the angles to hit the fiber slightly different on that brachialis. The next exercise is going to be easy bar curls. So you're going to grab this bar. We're going to have this overhand grip opposed to like this. This supinated or underhand grip, again, is going to hit bicep brachii. That's not what we're targeting. Targeting brachialis. So you want this overhand grip like this. So grab that easy bar. Keep the elbows in a relatively fixed position. Come up and squeeze. Now, this aggressively works that brachialis, but one thing you want to be careful of is elbow flare. So sometimes when the bar gets too heavy, you want to flare those elbows out to the side versus keeping them tucked. So no flare, keep them tucked. And woo, you're going to feel this. In addition to working that brachialis, it also is a great exercise for improving that grip strength. You're going to feel it in those forearms a little bit too. So definitely work the easy bars into that routine for hitting that brachialis. The last exercise that I'm going to show you is a cross-body hammer curl. So just like this. Now this is a little different than the supinated version where you come in and twist. Again, bicep brachii. Don't want that. We want brachialis. So we're going to keep this hand in this hammer grip as we come across the body. And you really want to squeeze. But what's great about the crossbody hammer curl is you can usually load up the weight pretty good, and you have this extended range of motion because you're sweeping across the body. So more time under tension, you can really work that brachialis pretty good. You're going to feel it, y'all. You're definitely going to feel it. So work those crossbody curls in there as well. Let's go through some of the benefits of training the brachialis. So as I mentioned, the bigger the brachialis is, the bigger your biceps and arms are going to look because it's pushing them up and out. So that's definitely the number one reason of why you would even want to work that neglected muscle. But in addition to that, when you think of elbow flexion, as I pointed out earlier, you usually are thinking about the bicep brachii doing the work. But in reality, the brachialis is the muscle that's responsible for 50 to 60% of elbow flexion. So think about every time you're doing curls, it's that brachialis that's allowing that forearm to get close to that upper arm and curl that weight. So the stronger you are, the stronger that brachialis is, the more weight you're going to be able to lift in other exercises like the bicep curl, bent over rows, T-bar rows, pull-ups, you name it. So performance would be a second reason you want to work that muscle really, really good. So those are some of the fantastic benefits of training this muscle. Again, it's part of that secret formula. But in terms of how to work it into your workout routine, you're not going to go out and just have a brachialis day. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But what I would recommend is pick at least 2 of the exercises that we did today and pepper that into your arm day. So mix it in with the other bicep exercises that you're doing, and you're guaranteed to get those gains. It's just something to keep in mind. Yes, you want to grow those bicep peaks. You want to train that long and short head, but you also want to remember the brachialis because it's important. If I could just leave you with one last point, small brachialis, small arms. Big brachialis, big arms. So keep that in the forefront of your mind as you go through that arm day. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more like it, definitely check out our arm playlist. And as always, like and subscribe. Camille, 88 Fitness Training.